manager. What do you make of how the Fed is looking at all of this mixed data and what potentially they may be doing when they meet in several weeks?
I think the die is pretty much cast for a rate cut in October. Today's jobs number notwithstanding, today's market action notwithstanding. Global growth remains sluggish. The survey data was weak. I think the Fed has a decision every day when it wakes up, right? Here are what financial conditions look like. Do I want to validate the market pricing or not? And I don't see the Fed basically condoning a tightening of financial conditions by not doing anything. So if the market's priced for an October cut, the Fed will give them an October cut.
Rosengren's point was also, it's like, look, we've done 2 cuts. Give it a chance. It doesn't happen. You don't cut interest rates and then there's this dramatic impact in the economy overnight. We did 2. Give it some time. Let's see where we are. What's wrong with that?
Well, it's a little bit rich since he wasn't really for those cuts in the first place. So anyway, I would just say
that. But he's backed up by an unemployment rate at a 50-year low, isn't he?
Is
this the economy that needs more accommodation?
I think inflation needs more accommodation. The Fed has been persistently running below its 2% target for years now. At the same time, the strong economy is welcome, but it's also putting upward pressure on the U.S. dollar, and that has a mechanical impact on the Fed's outlook for inflation. So if the dollar is strengthening 10%, you put that in the models the Fed looks at, that means core inflation is going to be maybe 20 to 30 basis points lower a year from now. So I think the Fed, and look at the unemployment situation, right? You mentioned 3.5% unemployment. If I told you 10 years ago we'd have 3.5% unemployment and wage growth would be 3%, I think you would have laughed me out of the room. But that's exactly what we have. So there's
If I told you the same thing, if I said we've got all of that and we're having a debate over whether the Fed should cut interest rates for the 3rd time, you would have told me you're out of your mind.